There were two ideas for who the star should be for Kingdom Hearts. Tetsuya Nomura, the director, wanted to create a 3D platformer akin to Super Mario 64. He knew he needed a star on the level of Mario, so who better than two of Disney's finest? One side wanted Donald and the other wanted Mickey. But Sora was eventually settled as a compromise. Besides Sora being the new main, he too went through changes. He began as a lion boy wielding a chainsaw sword instead of the Keyblade. In the original Japanese release, Axel's death shows his body bursting into flames and burning away. This death was apparently too graphic for American audiences, which were treated into a flameless scene. A scene involving Daisy spanking Donald was also removed from the US release, as was the green blood from the Hydra in Hercules' Coliseum. Most infamously, the violence in Port Royal was toned down with guns becoming crossbows and almost no blood or sword impalement whatsoever. In Japanese, Sora means sky. His two island buddies Riku and Kairi also have relevant translations. Kairi is the ocean, whereas Riku is the land. Together they form one heck of a trip. Nomura kind of has a habit of naming characters after elemental or terrestrial things like cloud, squall, lightning, and the list goes on. Pat Morita, better known as Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid or Arnold from Happy Days, voiced the Emperor of the Land of the Dragons in Kingdom Hearts 2, as he also did in Mulan and Mulan 2. Afterward, Morita sadly passed away on November 24, 2005 at age 73. At one point during development, Ariel from The Little Mermaid was going to be one of the 7 princesses of Heart. This would make sense since she is a princess after all. It was later decided she was too strong and independent to be a victim of the Heartless, so she instead was turned into a party member. Alice then from Alice in Wonderland was her replacement. Even though she isn't a princess, she was still pure of heart, so in a way that makes some sense. The longtime Mickey Mouse voice actor passed away in May 2009 at age 62. The English language version of Kingdom Hearts 358 and a half days was dedicated to his memory. Brett Ewan took over the role for subsequent Kingdom Hearts games. The drawings on the cave walls on Destiny Island foreshadow events in-game. For example, they predicted Sora competing and winning the Hercules Coliseum, and there are also references to Tarzan. Time travel was introduced in Dream Drop Distance, so was this cave already hinting at that as well? That is to say, Sora could have come back at some point to draw those for a younger Sora to see. Time travel is never an easy subject to wrap the mind around. Kingdom Hearts is the last game that was released with the old Squaresoft logo before the company became Square Enix in 2003. Find an original box copy and you could have a collector's item on your hands. All greatest hits and other Kingdom Hearts repackages ship with the Square Enix logo. Every summon that appears in Kingdom Hearts is based on a Disney property from Simba to Bambi. There were plans to extend the Final Fantasy references into battles as well. The King of Dragons and one of the coolest summons in the franchise's history, Bahamut, was planned to be in the game. Hacking the game's code will reveal the name can be implemented into the magic menu. However, using the Bahamut command will crash the game, so it appears not much other than the name was programmed. Squaresoft held a contest where a fan could get their name in the game. The result is a secret boss named Kurt Siza, a giant crab you can find out in the Agrabah Desert after completing the Hollow Bastion level in Kingdom Hearts for the first time. He's not as hard to beat as secret boss Sephiroth, but he is pretty tough. There were actually a lot of cut worlds. To bring up Simba again, Nomura wanted the Lion King to be in it. Toy Story got as far as a planet but no levels were actually designed. The team tried again to get Toy Story into the sequel in some form via a summon, but that idea too was scrapped. Lastly, the Disney Castle or Mickey's home was going to be used more than in just cutscenes. The whole place was programmed into the game but never utilized. According to Kingdom Hearts producer Shinji Hashimoto, he got the idea for a Disney/Squaresoft crossover game while chatting with a Disney executive in an elevator. The two companies shared a building in Tokyo before Squaresoft became Square Enix and moved away. Besides Disney, Nomura also wanted to include a lot more Final Fantasy characters. Tifa was going to be another optional boss in the Coliseum just like Sephiroth. Instead of Yuppie, her role was going to be taken by Riku. But since Riku was in the game, it was decided it would be too confusing to have them both. There were also plans to add Vincent in as well, but it is not known how. Instead, his design informed Clouds. He never made it in officially, but Tifa and Riku did in Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts has been re-released and revised more times than most know. It launched first in Japan, then released in the West with new enhancements. It then re-released in Japan with the final mixed version, which put in all of the Western additions plus a few more. We eventually got that content years later with the PS3 HD port of the game. One thing that technically never came over was the faster load times. See, the game used the HDD on the PS2 to make loads faster, which not many games did with the peripheral. And that's it. If you guys like the video, leave a like, let me know what you think of the video, and as always, I hope you enjoy.